Yo, what's up, folks? Check it out, man. It's MC Ron here. You already know we're here at our podcast from Base to Home. I got a couple of special guests. My brothers in the mess. They're now retired, coming all the way from San Antonio, Texas. And both of them are all both business owners. So let me introduce you, my brother Mark and Mike. Brother Mark, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey
You
man,
good?
doing good. Finally glad to be here. Finally glad to make it to the CPO bar, right? So it's been a minute. I know you've been trying to get me out here for a couple of years now. So it's good to finally be here, man. Appreciate
Ab-
it.
Absolutely. One thing, I freaking love the cigar that you gave me. It's limited edition, white silver. What is
Yeah, the
this?
first edition.
First edition.
Yeah, brother. If you don't mind, man, let me
Yeah.
touch on that real quick. So and what we'll get into us getting into the cigar space, but my mentor in the industry, uh, Jim Biggs, man, Air Force veteran. Great fucking product, bro. The closest thing that you're gonna get to Cuban cigars, here in the U.S., man. Those things will go up against Davidoff's, Atabase, and a fraction of the cost, bro. I mean, those things will not disappoint, man. So, I had some, support Biggs and all the things that he does, but by purchasing his sticks, right? But love sharing them where I can, man, because there's some great
Absolutely.
fucking sticks, man.
Absolutely. It's fucking delicious.
Yeah, yeah, they're good, man.
Brother Mike?
Sir. So easy day,
Mhm.
man. First time feels like family. Appreciate it. I mean, you treating us like one another, just like we do in the mess. So, man, much love.
Absolutely, bro. So you know we're here, right? So we love to interview folks that retire from the military and what they do with the skills they learned while they're in the military, use it outside to become entrepreneurs. So the reason why they're here, he is the CEO of Anchor Up. I've known this dude for a minute from coins and all that stuff. He's also in charge of all the CoinCon events. So I'm fortunate enough that he allowed me to sponsor that event. So it's amazing. So brother, I appreciate you, having me to sponsor that event and the only folks, the only guy that's in real estate and mortgage to sponsor that event. So exclusive. So thank you, brother.
Yeah, no, thank you for the support, man.
So,
So,
so brother, let's chop it up real quick, and I want to hear your thoughts on how you started, jumping into business
yeah,
as
for
soon as
sure.
retirement goes, because you didn't work for anybody as soon as you retired, right?
No, yeah. Just to jump back before we get into the business, I mean, I drag Mike along, and I think Mike drags me along as well. I don't know why he totes me around, but I got into the entrepreneurship mindset and spirit, as you would say, I guess, coming from Mike, right? I mean, and this is probably the first time he's hearing this from me, right? And so, um, I mean, it just we were both stationed together in San Antonio at NMTSC Hospital Corbin A School, right? Um, and Mike was into the ticket, and I don't necessarily say in the ticket business at that time, but he owned season seats, and then riled us up to be like, "Hey, man, let's buy some more seats. Let's buy some more seats." And more seats led to more seats, and more seats led to more seats. And next thing you know, we're 70, 80 G's in the hole in the year, right? Fucking selling San Antonio Spurs tickets and jumping over to Houston and jumping to concert venues. And so, I think one of Mike's famous sayings is like, shit or get off the pot, right? Like, do it or don't, jump, right? Make the leap, or else you'll never learn. And
So
so that
quick,
was the connection, man.
quick question about that seats, because it intrigues me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So when you talk about buying seats and all that stuff, how does it work?
Oh,
Just
that's
quick.
the mastermind right there,
There
man.
you
He knows
go.
that. He knows the industry
There
there,
you go.
man. So
So essentially, it's done. If you're in a big market, they are purchasing large amounts of opportunity there at each individual venue, right?
Yep.
So how I got into it was I was stationed in Hawaii, and I had been out of the mainland for 3 years, 4 years, whatever it was, and I got to DC, and I was just absent of like entertainment, sports, which I love. It's very limited. If anybody's been in the island, you know how it works. So once I got to DC, I got invited. That's how it all started. I got invited to a Wizards training evolution, and that's when John Wall had just got into. He was a rookie, first year there, And so I went over there to the Verizon Center at the time, and I was sitting there, watching them practice and seeing everything. And guy sat next to me, cool cat, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, how do we think about the season and basketball?" And at the time, I was a big Spurs fan, big basketball fan, and that. So I was just like, man, I'm just loving it. I just kind of told him, hey, I hadn't been here. I miss enjoying sports and stuff like that. He's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like, so you ever think about season tickets? And I was like, nah, not really. I was like, that's not really my thing. The reason is because I don't like being stuck in one spot. For you pay all this money and you're kind of stuck in that one spot, and you have, at the time it was like 40 plus games at the time for home games, and so I was like, that's not, He's like, well, just by the way, I'm a rep. That's why she's straight up. Hey, I'm a sales rep, but we do have like different packages, and so we have this unique package where you get to select where you want to sit. It's a season ticket, but you get to kind of select if you want to, for the good games, you want to sit close, you sit close. Don't want to sit close, you don't have to. I was like, dang. I was like, well, the only team I want to see is the Spurs, right? But hey, you know what? I'm here. I hadn't seen sports, so okay. So I looked into it and I went ahead and purchased. And what I was finding was I really like being right on the floor. To be honest with you, I mean, like, and if anybody knows the Wizards, right? They ain't did nothing since they were invented. I mean, like, I mean, that's about their best ticket sales. Yeah, So,
sorry, Mike. Sorry, Mike.
but I'm just a fan of the sport, and John Wall was coming, so I just kind of looked at it as an opportunity just to just check it out. So I bought season tickets there, and I just did that. And what I was doing at the time, and StubHub had just kind of come along, and so I started wanting to be, have an opportunity to be right there on the floor, because closer to the floor, you get, access to food and different things that, regular people just don't get. And so I was very intrigued by that, because the players are right there, right in front of you. And then, then I bring my kid and my family comes along and everything else too. And so what I would do is when there was somebody coming into town, I started trading up. So I'd sell my tickets on StubHub, the ones that I bought, like that at the time I was like, oh, I don't want to see that game. So I got into like the 200 level or whatever, 300 level. And so I was like, oh, dang, no, I want to go to that game now. I want to be like on the floor at VIP area. So I would just sell those on StubHub and then, take the profits and then turn around and get because as a season ticket holder, you get a discount on tickets, right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing. And then once I left DC, I kept them. I was like, well, shoot, I can do this. Like, I can just, do this from wherever I go. I'll just keep them when whatever I'm in town. I can go to games. I had some friends that were there. I give up tickets, to other Chiefs or whatever the case may be. Just helping the people out or whatever the case may be. So I just kept them and started doing that. And then I get to San Antonio, and I'm a big Spurs fan, but I was just like, at the time, of course, they're winning championships and stuff like that. So their ticket prices are up there, and then now I'm at NMTSC, and you have of course, like the Navy, people from LA, people from all different kinds. So they have their team they want to see, and so that was the big thing, was going to see the Lakers, right? Everybody wants to see the Lakers, everybody, but not everybody want to pay that Laker money ticket, right? That ticket price, right?
Nobody.
No, yeah.
I think the season tickets for the Lakers to start is like 30,000. If I'm not mistaken, is that true?
I don't know, because I'm not in LA, so I can't tell you. So we would go on trips. We'd we'd get up, okay, Laker game is in. We get like 12, 15 Chiefs up together, and I'd say, hey Mike, can you get the tickets for us? And since I kind of knew how to do it, I was like, oh yeah. So I'd call the reps, blah blah blah, get us all tickets up there, and do that. And so the guy was like, hey man, you want to go for the season? I was like, no man, I got my season ticket over here. But he goes, hey, I'll bring you to the game. That's how they do. That's how they do. You try to, I'll bring you to the game. We just talk about it a little bit. You enjoy yourself. We'll show you the ins and outs. But all right, man. All right, cool. So came, he did his little sales pitch, everything else. I was like, yeah, that's good. That's good. I was like, so I don't know, for some reason, I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. Let me just get it. So I bought 2 seats up in the 200 levels, which in the AT&T Center at the time in San Antonio, there ain't a bad view in there. There's not a bad view. I mean, even all the way up to the Raptors, it ain't a bad view.
So if you don't mind me asking, those 2 seats, the season, right?
Right.
How much does it cost to be on?
So it all depends on where you're sitting, right? Because like the Raptors at the time, I think they were like what $10 a seat for every game, and there's like let's say 44 games at a home game.
So do
Yeah.
the math, right?
Oh,
so
okay,
it
that's
would-
how it
It's
works.
about like
Yeah.
$500,
Yeah,
right? $500
yeah.
for the
Oh, wow.
season,
Yeah, so
right?
you can get in at a decent price, right? And then you all, like I said, all depends on where you want to sit at, right?
That's not bad.
Nah.
Freaking LA is expensive.
It's different market, you know, different market, different sales, different sales prices and stuff like that. Yeah, but the deal is with the NBA, you have to have, you know, you can only sell so many season seats because you have to have them available to sell through Ticketmaster and all the other stuff they got to do, right? So that's the deal. So when I did it first thing, I was like, you know what, I kind of, you know, I was enjoying, you know, sitting close. That's my thing. I was like, let me just get right there, you know, on the 200 level, which is the upper, because they only have plaza and they have balcony.
Yeah.
Right. And then they have like at the terrace level. Terrace level is where all your suites are, and then some specialty like sit, come and drink and stuff like that. So it's for the most part it's either plaza or balcony. So I got like front row, first row on the balcony. I don't remember the cost back then, but so I got that for the season. And then I did kind of the same thing. I just whatever games I didn't want to go to,
You sell
I
it.
just sell it. And then it kind of went from there to like, dude, you know, I'm watching and you know, looking at you, oh yeah, who's here tonight, blah blah blah, and you kind of looking down and there's people down there on the floor and stuff, and I'm kind of getting jealous, and I see players and they're talking to players and stuff. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, how do those guys, you know, what do they do? You know, I'm just in the Navy. What, you know, I ain't like those guys, but what do they do to do that stuff, right? And so I just started really chopping it up to the ushers and to the concession stand people and just the people that actually work in the building, right? And I was like, well, dang, you know. So I started talking to them and just kind of getting information. And as I talk, I would go to where they're at. And so I would get access to places I ain't supposed to have access to. so eventually I come to find out like, oh well, if you have this special pass, you can come in an hour before everybody else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So with this special pass, you can come in an hour for everybody else. And in that hour, you can go down if you if there's enough room, you can go down to what we call the rails, because that's where the players come out of the locker room, and you can hang there. And then if you happen to get opportunity to get autographs or whatever, you can do that if they want to give you autographs or whatever. Like, oh, straight. So how do I get that? So they were like, oh well, you gotta have these plaza tickets, like this. Again, it's a section, it's called charter section, right? You gotta have charter section seats in order to get this early access, which is at the times it's called
Saddles and
Spurs,
Spurs.
because
Yeah.
that was the name of the club that you had access to if you were a charter member.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I started talking to the rep. I was like, hey, is there any way I can get like those passes? And she's like, oh yeah, just tell me whenever you want them, whenever you're here, I'll give them to you.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. So started doing that. I was like, hey, team, I wanted to see you. If I want to get close or whatever, I'd ask for Saddles and Spurs passes. I wasn't trying to be stingy or nothing. And
No,
and then
if you can get it for free, why not?
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
And so she's like,
because
oh,
you already pay for season tickets anyways.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's not like it's free. It's just some of the benefits.
Yes,
You know what I'm
exactly. So it went from that to like, okay, here's the next season. And at that time, it was they were going to the playoffs, and you have a chance once you at the end of you pay off your season or whatever, and then around March timeframe, they're already re-up for the next season, and they have a time where depending on when you came in, you can then go into the system and then pick new seats.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, well, I kind of built up a little money. So I was like, all right, well, I want to get closer. I want to get in the plaza. So I bought some seats in the plaza area, but like it was the top row of the plaza. So at that year, they went to the, I want to say they went to the finals. I want to say this was like 2013.
Yeah,
2013. And they were in the finals, and they were playing the Heat. And so we had our seats. We bought seats there for the season, so they gave us like opportunity to purchase those seats for the playoffs. And so you keep those seats for the whole playoffs. So what I did was I just sold all those seats for the playoffs up until the finals.
Wow.
Right? So that I was set. They paid for the seats, right? And I had a little extra money. And so then I was there watching the finals up there on the plaza level. I mean, like, we went to the club and we'd see Lil Wayne. I met Magic Johnson, like literally, like, because he was doing the broadcast right up there, and that was his whole thing, like Ginobili, yeah. Whenever he would shoot or something like that, and I remember this very specifically. It was the end of the third period, and it was just easier to go to the bathroom right behind it because we're like on the last row of the plaza area. So we went up I was going to the bathroom, and just randomly as I'm going to the bathroom, here comes fucking Magic Johnson. And I'm like, oh shit, it's Magic. I was like, Ginobili. And so this little dap, just a dap, and he goes in the restroom. But the funny thing was, he goes into the to one of the stalls, right? And I just go to the urinal, and then people start coming in, and then you start hearing, oh, Magic Johnson. And the dude comes out of the stall, and as soon as he comes out of the stall, people want to shake his hand. He don't give a chance to go and wash his hands and nothing.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to get up on him and everything else. I was just laughing, But yeah, it was a good time, and we kind of just went from there. So then it was like, oh shoot, well I want to get close. So it was like I want to get closer, I want to get more seats, and I started talking to this guy. I was just like, hey, this is what I got going on. I was like, it kind of pays for itself. Plus, you get to enjoy, you get to go there, and the whole access thing, right, goes back to it. Before I re-up, I say, hey, this is what I want. I want to move my seats down closer.
Yeah.
But before I do that, I want you to give me the Saddles and Spurs passes for free. Re-up it. And she goes, well, I got to talk, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. And sure enough, they did it. And which you don't normally get that. So it was like, so when we show up, right? When we show up to do that, they're like, oh, well, you don't have the seat because you have your tickets or whatever. Well, you don't. I was like, oh, you need to look closer. I was like, you need to look closer. Fine print. And sure enough, they're, oh, I'm sorry, Susan, because we were like using the VIP entrance and stuff and like trying to kick us out. And I was like, nope, because we don't have those specific charter seats to get in there. But they added up. So this every year before I was like, I ain't gonna re-up until I get that. And so they would add that, which was like, I don't know, I could think, was it about $50 a seat or something like that?
It was like $50 per seat per game.
So per game. So yeah, they're adding in $100 a game for 44 games for free.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just because I asked.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, put it in there. I'll re-up. And then we started, buying more seats, and we bought seats, for the lower piece and for the upper piece. And like I said, we always said we were fans first. And so it wasn't never about trying to make the most money we could on somebody else's, back, right? It was trying to get them the experience, the opportunity to be where we learned how to get there, for as much as they can, afford. So if they can only afford, the last row of the building,
Nosebleed.
I still gave them access to the VIP crap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, and we would, to the point we would come in, we'd walk them down there because it's like 3 hours in advance, right? So we'd get there, we'd tell them, hey, be here this time, and we walk them in, show them there, put them on the rails, and let them do their thing, and we would help them out and whatever. And most of the time, you're getting autographs. I mean, every time we were there, we didn't get autographs. I mean, we got tons of stuff,
posters, jerseys, hats,
from everybody. I mean, but my wife is a friend of Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, yeah, well, just from being on the rails. Yeah, talking about his snakes and took pictures with us.
Pictures to the point where I remember one year there was a picture that we all took at the rails with, and I would say that I like Dwight Howard as a person. I don't know him professionally, obviously, right? But everybody has their opinions about the different players or whatnot. But Dwight Howard, man, is probably one of the most humblest fucking guys that you will ever meet and get to talk to. He just doesn't go to, oh, here, let me just autograph and you're on your way.
Yep.
He will literally sit there and engage in full-blown conversations with you, how you're doing, about your day, yada, yada. Thanks for coming out, supporting. So, a different perspective, right, that you get to learn about these players. But he was one who always stood out. And I remember a photo that we took one year with him, and then Donna goes and has it on her fucking credit card. It's the cover of her credit card is our photo, her with Dwight Howard, and we're all just sitting there with Dwight Howard, bro. It was really cool. Yeah, we met some. It was good times.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
We met all kinds of players. There was the nice ones to the very, like he was saying, the very humble people to the stuck-up ones too. Like it's to the point where we knew exactly, because we were there all the time, so we wouldn't want to upset or let the kids know like what was going on with the players, how because there was a certain way they would react if we knew they weren't going to stop by and do anything. And what we did is we bought tickets on the opponent side, because we could still get on the Spurs side if we wanted to, no problem. But we thought that the more opportunity, because of how it is in the Navy with everybody's from everywhere, we would have more opportunity to sell if we had seats closer to the opponent's side.
The visitor side, yeah.
Visitor side. Yeah, so that's what we did. And then we ended up, buying seats. And You know?
Do you still do it up to now?
No, I don't do any. I don't do any now. So the reason, and the whole, I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I will do it for people who know me and call me and say, "Hey, can you do this?" All right. But you know, when COVID happened, it changed everything. I'll be honest with you, it changed everything, even to the point of how they interacted with the fans and stuff, right?
Mm.
So that's kind of what changed the game, was that, and then we got our page stolen.
Yeah.
Yes, we got so the everything was word of mouth. We went from 0 clients to, like I said, but 500 plus clients,
Wow,
Yeah.
and everything was just word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
And we had a Facebook page.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so we were doing it, and then I don't know what happened, but some random thing happened where this person took over our face page, like literally took over the admin, everything, locked us out. So all we could do was see.
Wow.
We couldn't do it.
Mhm.
And I mean, I spent I don't know how many times hitting up Facebook, hey, and they never responded, 0 response. And COVID kind of hit, and everything else came to fruition, and I was just kind of it's kind of slow roll because it kind of took over our lives. I mean, we were active
It was
duty.
almost a full-time job.
I mean, we
man.
were active duty, you know, working, and then we got to rush over to the AT&T Center at the time. Now it's the Frost Bank Center, but AT&T Center to then meet clients and then put them in their seats and put them on the rails, and it was just,
Damn, that's
and-
a lot of work.
yeah, and then, like I
Yeah.
said, it's 44 games at home, so it was just like boom, 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 and so we, you know, from there I kind of transitioned into real estate. So
That's what's up.
yeah, so that's kind of where it went from there.
Cool, man.
Yeah, man,
That's
and
a cool story.
And I'd like to add, just because, you know, again, this is probably, you know, the first time Mike is hearing this, that, you know, he was kind of like my influence and my mentor into entrepreneurship, right? But it's really the practice too, right, of taking care of people,
Yes.
right? That's in the business side of the house. I mean, that's the most important thing, right? I mean, you're only as good as your customer service, right?
Mhm.
And so what I learned from Mike, although yeah, it was a lot of hard work, even to, I mean, when we're going to the arenas, I mean, we're still fucking working, right? I mean, if we didn't have people, or even if we were sitting in our lower seats and we're like, hey man, we're gonna just go sit in the bar, we'll go run up to the nosebleed, grab our fucking clients, and be like, hey man, the second half, you want to come sit down and, you know, down on the first, you know, on the floor and shit.
That's cool.
What?
That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, come on down, man. And we'd escort them down. So it was, you know, without knowing at that time, right? Like learning customer service, right? Learning how to take care of your clients who are allowing you to do this, really,
That's
at the end of
cool.
the day, right? Because
Yeah.
without them, we wouldn't have had the experiences that we've had, right? And so I've kind of taken those practices, you know, that I've learned from Mike. You know, it's not always about the dollar, man. Not
No.
about, you know, taking everybody for as much as you can, right? And we'll kind of touch more about that in the, you know, in the coin business and trade show business. But you know, I've learned a lot from Mike. And again, I know that this is his first time hearing this, and we've been friends for 10 plus years,
what's
right?
up.
15 plus years, man. But um, my background and where I've learned a lot in the business side has truly come from the foundation that he laid in getting into the ticket business, man. And so, you know, for that, I can never thank you enough, brother. So,
That's
man,
cool, man.
but yeah, it's been fun, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's ups and downs like any other business, but
Yeah.
it's been fun, man. More ups and downs, definitely, for sure. You know,
Yeah.
so
So check it out.
But-
We're gonna do a part 2. We're gonna check out, see what we have here, and then we'll move back to part 2.
Amway Center.
Yep.
mhm.
Did the same thing. They invited me down. I met players. You know, it's just like you just get into it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's good stuff. So I know we left off something. Mark was talking about some stuff. You were getting into the coin business.
Yeah, man. So still, while you know I was on active duty, got into the coin industry.
For the
My-
folks that are listening to civilian, what coins are we talking about? Silver?
Yeah, so we're talking about, you know, military challenge
Oh,
coins,
there you
right?
go.
Trinkets, right? At the end of the day, not currency, right? Not currency. So, you know, I'm no Bitcoin genius or anything like that, right? I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. So, brother, man, I'm intrigued by this cigar that you started. It's freaking amazing. The designs, the history, all the
man.
stuff that you came up with. It's amazing. We're gonna show you what's in this packet. You're gonna be blown away because I freaking love it already. So
Yeah, man. Well, again, I mean, you know, that logo in itself, right, kind of caters to, you know, to the mess, right, to the Navy Chief community. But that's all Dave Anchetta right there, man. You know, everything that dude touches is gold, right? I mean, that's just a talented motherfucker, man.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
is.
fucking woodworking to airbrushing to seamstress, right? Dude knows how to sew to
Dude.
being a green thumb, right? He does plumerias, grows plumerias, bro. I mean,
So we love Hawaii. We used to live there, and so we find like my daughter's never been there. She got born in Texas, and she's been there all her life. And my son was graduating, and so he's like, I want to go back to home. I want to go to Hawaii. So we take a summer trip out there. We take 3.5 weeks, go out there. We hit the Big Island. We hit Maui, and then we go to Oahu, and we do. I show them everything. We do all the spots, even the skydive. We did the skydiving thing with them and everything else. So we come back, and so I'm like, well, I want my kids to remember this. So what do? I take all the pictures I took, and then when I was there at the spots, I would tag it into the maps.
Yep.
And so I sent all my stuff off to get a book made.
Yep.
With all the photos of what we did with them. And I made 2 different books, one for her, one for him.
Yeah.
And all the individual photos of what we did, all the cool stuff. So they remember. I was like, what am I gonna do for my wife? Because what am I gonna do for my wife? And I hit up Dave and I said, bro, because he's doing Stanley Cups.
the Stanley Cups,
He's
yeah.
engraving Stanley Cups.
Yep.
I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah,
That shit's tight.
Yeah. So I said, hey, bro, I want my wife to have something to remember Hawaii, because she has all those double insulated cups all the time, and she's making drinks and shit. So I sent him. I was like, I just wanted all Hawaii to everything about. So I sent him like pictures of stuff, and I was like, she's in the plumerias, and she's into we dove with the big manta rays and stuff like that. And I wish I had that cup, but this dude put a cup together and had everything we did on this cup. I mean, to the sky. I mean, like us in the cup, like skydiving. They did amazing stuff on that cup.
Yeah.
I mean, and the whole thing was maybe $100. I mean,
Yeah.
but well worth it. Well worth it. I mean, just the plug.
Yeah, I mean, you follow you guys can follow Dave too. You follow him on Made by David Ryan. I mean, everything that dude touches is gold,
You know
bro.
what? I'm glad you mentioned Dave Ryan and Cheddar, because this fool's supposed to get his real estate license. Yo, get your shit, homie.
Yeah.
You already know. I've been waiting. Let's go, baby.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Hey, he's been getting it from me too, bro. I've been telling him you need to jump on that train with Ron, bro.
Let's go.
So, yeah, man. But that dude, again, the Anchor Up Foundation, man. It's all that foundation comes from Dave and Cheddar, bro. I mean, the mastermind behind that logo that just caters to the entire community, right? I mean, I've had people ask, hey, man, can I get that shit tattooed? Go ahead, man.
Which
get
one,
it,
this?
right? Yeah. People want that Anchor Up logo tattooed on them, but
That's crazy, huh?
it is what it is, man. But yeah, Dave's just a genius, bro.
Bruh. Check it out. If you don't see it, this is nice. Let's open it up. Bro, you want to speak on it?
Yeah, so getting into the cigar industry this year, man. Again, brought family along, right? All 4 of our sticks. I know you only see 3 of them here right now, but it's all supported and financed by family, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how we roll, right? I mean, talk about the circles, right? And then, I mean, from a business standpoint, right? Always easier to do things with other people's money, right? But when you can bring family along, right? Bring family along for that ride and teach them the entrepreneurship and teach them about business and be there with you. I mean, this is 3 of the 4, right? So my nephew Cam, man, I always have a hard time talking about my nephew Cam, man. We just recently lost my nephew Cam about a month ago. Nuclear engineer officer, kid's just a fucking genius, man. Jumped on board. Was the first one, believe it or not, be like, hey, Uncle Mark, send me the NDA, send me the contract. I'm in, man. I'm there, right? So, in a tribute to my nephew Cam, man, Stangs and Stogies, right? Stangs and Stogies is the cigar that my nephew Cam trusted me enough to bring to life. And so this Sweet Tip Connecticut, man, that's in remembrance of Lieutenant J.G. Cameron Johnson. So, he is the son of Vanita Johnson, retired HMC. Oh, yeah. Vanita is the one financing and bringing our Tribe Called Mess stick. That's the one you don't see here today. So that Tribe Called Mess stick, it's going to be a Sweet Tip vanilla infused Maduro. That'll be out here July, August timeframe, just in time for the season. And although it won't be sold during, I mean, just solely through the season. We're treating it like a
Yep,
seasoned cigar,
absolutely. Yep.
right? So it only be released during the chief season, but you know, we'll obviously sell it throughout the year, but that's when it'll be sold. But anyhow, you got your Stangs and Stogies. It's a Sweet Tip, Connecticut. Our boy Will Cruz is an active duty senior chief. He's out in San Antonio with us. I know he's been stationed with Mike before, coming up the ranks, and he'll actually be making his way out here to San Diego during the summertime. So his is the Smoke Locker. The Smoke Locker is Ecuadorian Habano. And then you guys already heard the name Cliff Gabriel. Cliff Gabriel, he's the financer behind Squids and Sticks, right? It's the Maduro. All our product, man, being sourced out of Nicaragua. Great fucking sticks, man. I'm not just saying that, you know, because they're ours, but good sticks. We're gonna start pushing them out next month, man. And the first spot you're gonna see them is at our CoinCon in San Diego.
That's what's
So
up.
yeah, or at least Cali, right on the Cali side of the house. The first time you're gonna see them here is at the end of the month.
So for the folks that are watching this and they're looking at this beautiful stick, especially Chief Smith's, is it possible for them to purchase this ahead of
Yeah,
time?
brother. Yeah, so what I mean, not ahead of time, because what we wanted to do, kind of what we've been accustomed to doing with the CoinCon shows,
Yeah.
is just creating a lot of that customer interaction, right? Because if we jump back to us doing coins, right, for the past 13 years, what CoinCon has done for us over the past 6 is now put faces to names, right, to those people who've been supporting us over the years, right? Because before it was all social media, and then yeah, I mean, we'd get to interact with clients here, you know, far and few in between when we'd be out and about, right, just traveling, or you know, goat meetups or coin meetups and stuff like that. But CoinCon has really changed that way of thinking
Yep,
for
yep.
from a business standpoint, right? And really allowed us to put names to faces, right? And so with that, I mean, thank you guys. I mean, we wouldn't be here 13 years, you know, later if it wasn't, you know, for the worldwide mess. I mean, that's 90% of our clientele, right?
Absolutely.
Regardless of product, but you know, to the mess, man. I mean, taking care of the mess, right? The mess taking care of the mess, man. I mean, we wouldn't be here without them. But yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's been fun. This is a new industry for us. So you know, truthfully, still nervous about it, right? I mean, the cigar industry is a pretty big business, and it's easy to piss people off, and so we want to make sure we're doing things the right way, right? And kind of keeping that old school culture of the cigar industry, right? It's made to sit and have these type of conversations, right? Having a good stick and a good drink with great company, and kind of just learning about people and their paths in life, right? And so we want to make sure that we're still doing that. And although we'll get into online sales, it's really just, it's not our sole purpose, right? Because we still want to be able to meet the people that we're delivering our cigars to.
So for CoinCon, which is March 26th,
March 28th. Yeah,
March
Saturday,
28th.
March 28th here in San Diego
Are
and
we-
in Guam. But
are we gonna have this beautiful, amazing sticks?
you sure will, man. Yeah, they'll be
March 28th.
Yeah, March
Because
28th.
guess what? As soon as my editor edits this video, it's coming out. Y'all better pay attention to this. March 28th, if you want to grab them sticks in person, you better be at the CoinCon event in San Diego.
Yeah, it'll be the
Okay.
first time. Yeah, for sure, man. But again, man, I mean, those sticks, you know, there's something for everybody, man. There's something for everybody, right? So from the novice smoker to the seasoned, you know, aficionado, right? So yeah, man, we're happy to get into this space, and then once, you know, kind of the time goes by, you know, about summertime, then we're also, you know, we're able to get into private white labeling. So that's the next step, man.
So we'll pause that one because I got a few questions. But before that, I want to get you guys